back on Get Up, and this is interesting. ESPN's Tim Bontemps recently surveyed 20 executives and coaches around the NBA about the repercussions of this wild offseason. And one of the questions was, who's the best player in the league? And not one of the 20 geniuses surveyed picked LeBron James. Here are the answers they did give. Kawhi Leonard was voted the top player in the league with 12 votes. The regular season MVP, Giannis Antetokounmpo, finished second in the survey with 6, and James Harden was the only other player to get any votes at all. All right, so with Jalen and Jacoby here with us, I made this point on the air the other day in the reverse order about Aaron Rodgers, and I compared him to LeBron James. I will make it once again. Gentlemen, it is my contention that LeBron James is getting ready to go medieval on the NBA, okay? He has sat back for the last several months and heard his name slandered, which I think this constitutes in a way that is unimaginable to me. On this very program, and I'll admit it, we spent practically 2 months debating and changing our minds every other day over who is the best player in basketball, and never once did someone say, actually, it's still LeBron James. He's only been gone for a short period of time. I think LeBron is going to come back on a scorched earth tour. All this Taco Tuesday stuff is fun. Taco Tuesday! And I love it. Listen, I love it. I love jovial LeBron. But I think we are getting angry, motivated, well-rested LeBron next year, and he may very well, despite his age, have as good a year as he's ever had. Your thoughts?
So I have to represent the landscape of what being a player is all about. And there's a difference between being the best player and the most accomplished player. Okay, there's a reason why they give away Player of the Week, Player of the Month, regular season MVP, and Finals MVP. These are all different stages. LeBron James, Greeny, over the last 3 to 5 years, to me, has been playing three-card Monte with 3 players. It's been LeBron, it's been KD, and it's been Kawhi. Musical chairs for who's the best. But I can't go into this year's training camp and act like Kawhi Leonard didn't just go to the Raptors and win the championship, Finals MVP, shoot down the Philadelphia 76ers, take out the Greek Freak, take out the Golden State Warriors without KD, and LeBron's team didn't make the playoffs? I got to give Kawhi the #1 spot right now. I agree with you that LeBron is going to come back with a vengeance, but right now, and I think LeBron would have to agree with this, the king of the court has to be Kawhi entering this season.
First of all, not only do I not agree with you, LeBron does not agree with you either. Okay? Like, I agree with Greeny. Okay? Here's the thing. LeBron James, 27.5 points, 8.5 assists, 8.5 rebounds. Those are good numbers. And we talked about his age.
Great numbers.
Ever since his last year in Cleveland before he went to Miami, that 2010 season, those were kind of his peak numbers. The last 2 years were close to that. Like, he has been producing on the court. And this is just recency bias. Yes, Kawhi Leonard, when you talk about shooting down Philadelphia, that ball, one of those bounces doesn't go right. We're not having him in this conversation right now. This is recency bias. We just haven't seen it because we didn't see him in the playoffs. Last time he was in the playoffs, 34 points, 9 rebounds, 9 assists. We're going to see that LeBron next year.
Okay, so let me rephrase the question, because I like the way you put that. Okay, there's a lot of different ways to define best and most accomplished. I get it. If you have to pick one player right now to say, my only goal is to win a championship, and I will pick
next
one
season?
guy. Yes, one guy, not who's going to win it, but I can have anybody on my team and say, I'll start with that guy to try and win a championship. Are you telling me that guy wouldn't be LeBron James?
It's LeBron James.
I'm saying it'll be Kawhi going into next year. LeBron's in his 17th season. And let me tell you a couple of things on the floor that Mr. Leonard's going to do that LeBron won't be required to do. That's actually defend his position and the best player on the other team. Help and rotate and do certain things that LeBron is going to have the young fellas do, and rightfully so. He's earned the autonomy to not try to be a lockdown defender. Kawhi Leonard is going to be all defense, and he's going to be all NBA. LeBron is going to be one of those two.
Now, let's see. Let's see if LeBron James plays more than 60 games this year, because Kawhi Leonard did not last year.
Both of them are going to have
Kawhi load manages. LeBron load manages. He just doesn't play defense. That's his load management right there. And one thing that LeBron does that Kawhi doesn't do is he play makes. He makes the team better. And Kawhi gets his own buckets. LeBron gets everybody buckets.
True story.
And they put Giannis on this. For the breakdown again, it was Kawhi got 12 votes, Giannis got 6 votes, and Harden got 2 votes. Does that seem about right to you? I mean, Giannis to me feels like the guy that if he takes, there's something about his attitude and mental makeup that he feels like he's going to put all the work into it. All this conversation we've had about Ben Simmons, I have nothing but confidence Giannis is going to do all of that and more. Giannis feels like the guy who's ready to come on and become that guy.
He is, and people are underestimating the fact that the Bucks had the best record in the game. He was the MVP, and like you just said, he's going to continue to improve, surrounded by shooters as well. In any conversation, all of the guys that we mentioned are the top 5 players in the game.
I mean, KD, and then you watch it. We haven't even mentioned James Harden. You watch a Rockets game, you're like, this is an unstoppable offensive force. I cannot stop him. The entire team cannot stop him. So it is so close that it's worth talking about.
And I think if there's one way that we sum up the conversation, it is that in this case, Greeny and Jacoby are right.
Yes, yes.
And as usual, Jalen is wrong. Guys, thank you very much. And we turn our attention back to the National Football League, where training camps are opening all over the place. Today, the Cowboys, the Chiefs, the Rams, the Raiders, the 49ers, and the Bengals all report to training camp, and with that, it truly feels like the NFL season has officially begun. And so, the honor of presenting today's fundamentalist goes to our NFL insider extraordinaire.
Thank you, Greeny.
The one and only Adam Schefter, who will give us the 5 biggest storylines of this training camp season in the NFL. Shefty.
Oh, we're going to start with number 5, Greeny. And this is a story that I think fans don't appreciate, but I think is incredibly significant to the NFL and its future, and that is the impending CBA, the talks that are going on. I think there's more optimism on both sides now that they'll be able to get a collective bargaining agreement hammered out at some point this season to set up the next decade or so of football so that the owners can go sell the media rights in the next contract once the TV rights. Notice the media rights, because we don't know what form football is going to be consumed in the future, but it's going to be an extraordinary deal. It's going to be a huge deal. And before that deal can get done, they have to get the CBA done. And I think that is one of the main storylines of the season, even though I think fans go, oh.
Yeah, I mean, they don't care so long as the games don't go away. And you're telling us they aren't going to go away. So that's good news. So let's go on the field. What's number 4?
When you look at number 4, I think at this point you have to go with the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're minus Le'Veon Bell. They're minus Antonio Brown. They're off a season in which they disappointed. This is a tremendous shift. We've heard so much about the killer bees in Pittsburgh. There's one bee left, Ben Roethlisberger. Who's going to emerge? James Conner, Jalen Samuels, James Washington, Dante Moncrief. Somebody has to pick up the slack. This is an organization that has been very un-Pittsburgh-like, very uncharacteristic in its chaos.
Yeah.
Well, they extended Mike Tomlin's contract by 1 year, a little bit more stability, trying to get back to where the Steelers are used to being, which is stable, and in the postseason, which they weren't last year.
In a very interesting division. Okay, what's at number 3, speaking of the division?
I think when we look at number 3, you go with the Cleveland Browns. Everybody's all fired up about Cleveland, right? So much hype, so much excitement. Odell Beckham Jr. is not the only reason they're on Monday Night Football, but he's one of the main reasons that they're on Monday Night Football.
Right.
Baker Mayfield. This feels like the first time since Cleveland is back in Cleveland, the NFL is back there, and the Browns are back in the NFL, that the Browns are a legitimate playoff contender. The question is, can the production live up to all the hype, the excitement, the optimism that's there? But the fact that Cleveland is so relevant is one of the main storylines of this NFL
And a
season.
really good one, I think, for the National Football League. All right, what's number 2?
We're going to go with the New England Patriots, defending their Super Bowl title, but not just defending their Super Bowl title, doing it without Rob Gronkowski, with Julian Edelman with a broken thumb, with Sony Michel on the pup list with a knee injury, with a team that once again is lacking offensive weapons. But they do have Tom Brady. They do have Bill Belichick. Same old, rinse and repeat, same as it ever was, Greeny. And as long as those two men are there, Brady and Belichick, all things are possible. So as New England sets out to defend its Super Bowl title, that to me is the second biggest storyline in this young NFL season.
I can tell you, Dan Orlovsky thinks they're going to be better this year than they were a year ago, and that leaves us with number 1.
I hate to be a prisoner of the moment, Greeny, but I think it's that significant, the holdouts, okay? Because we're talking about holdouts on really good football teams with primary players. Zeke Elliott may or may not be with the Dallas Cowboys. Melvin Gordon, his holdout is going to be prolonged and is going to last the summer. You have Washington, Trent Williams. You've got Yannick Ngakoue in Jacksonville. You got Michael Thomas in New Orleans. Look, the Saints, Cowboys, Chargers. Jaguars. They all have Super Bowl hopes. They're all missing primary pieces here. But more than just these teams missing pieces is the idea where in recent seasons, we've begun to see NFL players reach for more power. Last summer, Aaron Donald holds out.
Yep.
That's a big deal. Khalil Mack stays away, forces a trade.
Yep.
Players have forced trades, trying to get bigger contracts. I think there's a bigger storyline unfolding in addition to the major blow